Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Amanda Ziadeh with WashingtonExec, and with me today to talk about the IT landscape, GovCon Trends, and work under his specific portfolio and more is Bob Genter, President of SAIC's Defense and Civilian Sector. Thanks for being here today, Bob.
Thanks. I really appreciate it, Amanda.
Of course. So I'd like to start by asking about your outlook on the future government IT landscape. What significant changes or trends are you seeing, and how are these factors moving the GovCon industry market?
So I guess I'll start with the macro view around the federal budget. DoD spending and the IT spending are relatively flat if you look at how much is coming through from inflation and different aspects of the budget. So it's a challenging 2024 for appropriations and how that money is making it to the kind of end user of the money to get it deployed onto contracts. On top of it, the appropriations process is, it's a fun time right now in Congress, and I'd say it's not overly helpful in securing long-term, consistent funding, and that's really a challenge when we're trying to get onto multi-year journeys for some of these, agencies and departments to be able to change their technical debt and where they are to where they need to get to. So the good news, though, is there's definitely some bipartisan support that offsets that, right? So technology modernization is something that we've talked about for decades. I think the time that we've had for the last couple of years where you could put off those decisions, I think the cybersecurity concerns, the need to use data in a more effective way, that's forcing the decisions for a more of a modern environment and to get control of these infrastructures. So I think that's forcing politicians to put pressure on this. It's then pushing CIOs to make decisions that have long-term implications, but short-term get on that modernization drive. The second focus, which everybody knows about, is obviously cybersecurity, right? So the number of penetrations, the number of issues that we've had over the last couple of years have made it so it's undeniable that this needs to be a major push for us to secure environments. Most critical environments need to say, and that's the areas that we look at for zero trust and some of the cybersecurity rules that are out there.
Right. So where are you seeing the most exciting opportunities to deliver enhanced capabilities to your government customers, and how are you harnessing these opportunities?
So the convergence that we've seen over the last couple of years is really through our engineering and our IT side of the house. It used to be that there were two different service deliveries, right? There was the mission, and you had to write applications or you had to build things that support the mission. And then there was a CIO that took care of the back office functions. I think the convergence of technology and software that goes between those two areas is becoming super interesting for companies like us to be able to find ways to deliver it in a different way than we have in the past. And you have more modern tools and technology to be able to solve problems better. So that's really exciting. So we're spending a ton of our time. I'd also say that around back to the budget pressure side of things, there's a need, a desire in many cases, but a need for us to put more and more money, effort, and time to delivering the actual end result for a mission owner or for citizens. You have to do more with less money. So the less we can spend on the oversight of the service, and the more we can get directly into a citizen's hands or into a warfighter's hands, it's putting more of a trade-off on the value you provide versus the administration value of the machine itself. So we're getting more efficiency into the system, and that's really exciting for everybody, right? It's exciting for taxpayers, it's exciting for citizens getting the services, and it's exciting for CIOs to deliver a meaningful service. The third one I'll put out there is platform agnostic or system agnostic. These are words that have been used for a long time. I will say that the scale and the value of the platforms that are out there right now, it makes it so it's really clear that there's going to be multi-platform environments. And you need to have an SI be able to stitch that together and ensure that you don't end up with this nightmare of a labyrinth that you have to navigate. And it's a really cool area for us to be in because we are very married to this platform agnostic way of looking at things, where you're going to have a multi-cloud environment. You're going to have different weapon systems, but they need to be controlled for that specific mission and that specific environment in a way that's user friendly and it can be plug and play for whatever the need is of the time. And that's a super cool new thing for us inside of this industry.
Right. Yeah, it seems like a few impressive balancing acts happening there.
Yeah, it's good.
So tell us about how you see the DCS portfolio at SAIC expanding or adapting this year.
Sure. So our driving strategy is around aligning our investments to strategic growth, right? So we want to make sure that we are in the growth and technology accelerators that we've been talking about as a company. We're looking at opportunities at our investments holistically. So across SAIC, there's expanding areas where we were trying to really move into differentiating ourselves than versus just services. And that really does look at profitable growth, making sure that we are really meaningful to our customers. And when we provide value to those customers, it does come back and it's helpful for SAIC to be able to grow its talent base, to be able to grow the company. So it's great for everyone when we are able to differentiate against just a services firm. We're also trying to apply best practices across the entire enterprise, and we're having a lot of sharing between our civilian business and our DoD business that really existed separately in the past, putting together a lot of activities that we have on the engineering side and the strength that we have in DoD, bringing some of those capabilities to the missions of civilian has been very helpful in getting in and making sure that those civilian agencies understand that we are really in with them on their hardest challenges. And the opposite's also true. On the DoD side of things, we have recently started to make really good strides into the IT domains and moving out of just the enterprise, just out of the engineering side. And that growth in IT has really opened up a brand new market for us, kind of on the back of a couple of our acquisitions and a few really big wins over the last couple of years that gave us deep past performance.
So what's the most significant trend you're seeing in the GovCon market today? And how do you think that will shape the industry in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think back to the systems agnostic approach, I think we're seeing that not only on the big platforms for cloud, we're also seeing it in the tools. There are so many tools out there that are incredibly useful for the specific function they provide, but trying to navigate what should be in the environment, what should a CIO manage, what should a mission commander have, and making sure that you've got the right tool for the right activity. I think that's it's become confusing for a lot of people because there are so many options out there. So multi-cloud, we had this vision long ago about the fact that there was not going to be a single cloud provider for any one of these agencies. You need to have unique environments for unique missions and activities. So we've been working towards that. We've got really cool tools and resources to make sure that we move things around in an appropriate way, and we are at the brokerage to be able to let that happen. So the SI and balancing all of that is a really important aspect of our business.
You mentioned some internal growth and wins earlier. We saw the recent announcement of an internal executive assignment for the Army Business Unit. So can you tell us a little bit about how SAIC develops your talent and the strategy you've put in place to grow that talent?
Sure. Yeah. So super excited for the leader that's going over to the Army. So this is a great example of a rotation where we're taking a leader that's got tons of future potential, has a really deep basis in all of our horizontal activity. He ran a piece of our business. He was running the Navy business for us. He's now moved to the Army. So this is rounding out his customer set and the business side of things. But we really like to groom our people to make sure that they're ready for opportunities in the future. This cascades down through the entire organization, right? It's not just one individual. We want to make sure that we round out. So it's not just somebody that has skills with one specific technology or one specific customer. They've got a broad set of SAIC strengths. They've got a broad set of capabilities. They know how to go to different customers, and there's a business acumen they understand. So it really is grooming the next generation of talent, and super proud of that one specifically.
Yeah, wonderful. So how has your belief systems and leadership style shaped SAIC culture?
So I'd say the words I use the most inside of our walls are it's called distributed decision rights. So this is really pushing down every decision we possibly can to the lowest level in the organization, so we can be nimble, we can respond to our customers, and we have empowered employees. I've frequently joked about the fact that if you need to ask me for permission to answer a question, or you need me to make a decision for you, I clearly just need more hours in the day, and I don't need your brain. I prefer to have a ton of brains that are making decisions on the fly, living inside of the guardrails of what we set as an expectation of the culture of the company, but pushing for more decisions at the sensor level where people can move quickly for their customers. I'll add in there that we've also had this pretty significant push on the DE&I side of things over the last couple of years. Really proud to say that we have been focusing on increasing the number of women leaders inside the company. We had a goal that was a 5-year goal to get out to a parity inside the organization with the leadership matching up with our population. We got there significantly faster than expected. We achieved our goal in the last year, so very proud of the team getting there. We have a similar goal for people of color. We didn't quite get there. We are putting a ton of effort to that to try to get there, but not quite to our targets yet. But we've got a couple of years for us to get there in a reasonable time frame.
Wonderful. We'll look forward to hearing more about that. So to close, I recently read that SAIC was selected for the Treasury Department's T-Cloud program. So what can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, so that's super exciting for us. Just last week, we were selected by the Treasury Department to put in cloud brokerage and to manage their multi-cloud environment. So it's a $1.3 billion contract. The team is excited that we were picked. They're excited that they put forward a really compelling proposal. I'll say this is really what happens when you put the smartest people on some of the biggest problems. It ends up with really good results. Treasury's getting a great team. They're getting a great solution. But this is a live example of that system agnostic, platform agnostic approach. We've got tools, one's called CloudSend, that was built on our belief that we're going to have this multi-cloud environment in the future for any agency, any department. That's what Treasury is moving to. So we now have the ability to make sure that we use analytics as well as an assessment tool to make sure that the environment that we are sending applications to is the right environment for those applications. So it's a really cool way for us to look at the most efficient use of each of those platforms and their unique value, doing it in a secure way, making sure that we're doing it with the best interest of the end mission owners, and in these instances, it's applications, and then migrating them to the right place. So really, really proud of the team on this win.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that win. And thanks so much, Bob, for being here today and talking about the IT landscape and some internal news and updates on SAIC. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Amanda.